The conclusion of the matter. You ever read the end of the book and you're like either disappointed or grateful? Let's talk about that. Yeah. Good morning, beautiful people. Time to have a good day. Anyway, the conclusion of the matter. A lot of times when we read a book, we get to the end and we're like, ugh, very disappointed. Or we get to the end and we're like, yes, that's definitely what I want to do in my life. That's definitely what is good about this book. This is definitely something that I want to aspire to. And so we live through this book, we read this book, and it's great. Some books I loved the ending to, other books I hated the ending to, and I won't read again. But here's the conclusion. The conclusion is that when we get to the end, we'll know the purpose of the book, the purpose of why it was written. And it's interesting that you read the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, the Old Testament, and it's a wisdom book. It gives you a lot of wisdom. Now, the wisdom that it gives you is that everything is like smoke, or everything is like you can't grasp on it. You can just see it. It's there. Life meanders through. There's death, there's time, and there's other things that we come up against in our life. And yet, throughout the thread of Ecclesiastes, it tells you that God is really in control, not you. We live life to the fullest, but God is really in control. And then it comes to the end of the book, the conclusion of the matter. This is why the book was written. This is why actually all the Bible was written. It really has a good outlook on what this is all about. And so it says this: now all has been heard. Everything in Ecclesiastes has been heard. You've read it. It's wisdom. It's good wisdom, even though sometimes it's depressing to read. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Here's the conclusion. Here's why the book was written. Here's why we do the things we do. Here's why the Bible was written. I think this is an overarching conclusion. It says here, fear God and keep his commandments. Now this fear God is this respect, this idea that he's in control, that he is sovereign, and that we're going to follow what he tells us to do because it's the right thing to do. Even if we get punished for it, even if we suffer for it, it is the right thing to do. Even though there's evil in the world and we'll be punished for it, even if it's not our fault, we still need to fear God. We need to have that respect and do his commandments and do what he tells us to do. Because even though if we suffer for it, we're still going to have a reward at the end. So fear God and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of all mankind. This is the job of all people. This is the job as a Christian, as a Christ follower, as worshiping God of the universe, is to fear God and keep his commandments. That's the conclusion of everything in the Bible, even to the book of Revelation. Revelation says if you're faithful, if you keep his commandments, if you love him as more than your own life, then that is the conclusion of why we do everything that we do. I think that's a perfect summarization. That's a perfect way to end the book of Ecclesiastes, but also the explanation of the whole Bible. If you go through the whole Bible, and those women and men who fear God and obey his commandments, even though they have suffering, even though they make mistakes, they still won at the end with God in their life. We can't deny him. He is always there. He's always in control. He is God. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great day, and fear God and love his commandments. That's my challenge for you today. Love you. Bye.